Hey everyone, this is Eric Eastwood. I'm going to do an in the bag here, show you what I've been throwing. Got a little extra time due to the pandemic and not out on the course as much as I would like, and so spent a lot of time at home, and so I thought I would take some time and do an in the bag video. Vince Como did one recently, and so I thought I would try to mirror his and throw you some to show you what I'm throwing in my tournament bag and what I would typically throw most days and what situations, and I've got some shots of some videos of where I'm throwing that. So I putt with rhinos. So I've got 3 that I normally carry. I got one that's beat up, and then I got one that's sort of kind of a little bit newer, has a little bit more stability, and then I've got a newer one with my Martin City Disc Golf, Martin City Brewing Company Disc Golf stamp on it that I had made last year. They're flat top. Anything, I don't know, 150 and in, I'll throw these, but I don't always approach with them. Sometimes I'll approach with some other discs, which are these 2 right here. So this is a Champ glass top, pre-flight number, Ontario molded Rhino, very flat, used to be very glassy. It's a little bit opaque now. But I throw this for about anything. I can throw it for hyzers, dead straight shots, anhyzer shots, whatever I need for that. And I've got a few backups that I'll throw occasionally if I'm worried about a water shot or about losing the disc. But this is what I'll throw off the tee if I want to throw a putter shot. And then the other one I'll throw is a little more overstable. See if you can see it. It's a Crystal Zone limited edition. This is a very overstable disc. I'll use it for forehand flicks, anything like 250 in on a flick, and then I can backhand a little farther, maybe up to 280 feet on flat ground, but that's really maybe pushing the limits of what a zone will do. I actually hit an ace with this at the 2018 USDGC that was filmed, and so still trying to see the video on that. Haven't got it yet, but it's out there. Maybe one of these days it'll come to me. But the Zone is a great disc. Highly recommend it. In addition to the Rhino. Right, moving on to my mid ranges. Really only carry 3. We'll start with the most understable one. It's an old Star Mako. Use this for anhyzer shots, controlled hyzer flip up shots, a lot of woods holes I may use this for as a controlled straight shot. It's actually not max weight. It's 173, which you would think it would make it maybe very understable, but I actually find this one to be have a little bit of stability so that it doesn't just turn and burn. And so I throw this on a lot of trick shots where I'm throwing like a straight ante, where I'm almost throwing it like almost perpendicular. There's a couple holes that I'll do that, or if I need a big turning anhyzer shot. I've got 2 buzzes that I'll carry. They're both 10th anniversary Z buzzes. This one I've been throwing for a long time. I don't know if you can see, but it's very warbled top. And I throw this for pretty much straight shots, maybe a hyzer flip up, and also anhyzer shots. So sometimes I don't carry the Mako if it's in windy conditions, and if I don't have it in my bag, I'll throw this Z Buzz on annies because it'll hold any line that you put it on. I've got one a little bit newer. It's also a 10th anniversary Z Buzz. Very, very flat. These are both 177 gram. I think is what or plus. I'm not sure exactly what the weights are because I've never weighed it, but it's 177 plus. It's the Wasp tooled buzzes. But I'll throw this one for straight shots, maybe an anhyzer shot if there's a little more wind, and I don't want it to just turn over completely, or just a straight shot with a little finish at the end. Occasionally I'll throw a Wasp if I have an overstable mid-range shot that I know on a particular hole that I like. I'll sometimes grab a Wasp, but most of the time I don't. I'll just power down a faster disc if I need that stability. So let's go to fairway drivers next. These I'm not sure what I would call those. If those are fairway drivers or not. Let's start with the slowest and we'll move our way up. I carry 2 Leopard 3s. This was a Hannah Leatherman. It's a 175 gram Tour Series from 2 years ago. Throw these either on tunnel shots, you want them to go and flip up, and then also straight anhyzer shots. This disc is very understable right now. I haven't thrown it very much. It's not beat in very much, but it's very flippy, which is interesting. I've got a stock stamp Star Leopard 3 that's only 170 gram, which I thought would be similar to this one out of the box, just as a backup, but actually it's a little more stable. And so I'll throw this on an ante, but it's only when I really want to force something over because of the particular shot, and or if I want it to kind of to flip up, kind of ride a little bit, but I still want a little hook up at the end. This one is for what I'll throw for that shot. They'll go pretty far. I can throw them probably 315, 320 pretty regularly. But depends on the particular shot. But I can throw these on quite a bit of different lines. Those discs will also overlap with these next 2, which I've got a Jackal or an S-Line FD. I just put this in the bag recently. I used to throw an FD a lot. It has tons of glide. But I'll throw these for just pretty much straight shots or really long anhyzer shots, and where I got a lot of room to work and really want to get one to bend over and flex over. It's a really good disc for that as well. But this disc goes very, very far, has a ton of glide. Easy to throw. I don't have to put a lot of power on it to get it to move, and it goes fast. The other one that's very similar to that, and sometimes I don't carry both, the Jackal, the FD, and this disc. It's an old Champion T-Bird that I've had. It's probably a 12-time stamp era that I've dyed with this Yin and Yang dragon stamp or die that I did. But this disc I'll throw on pretty much just straight anhyzers or Woods tunnel straight up, like to flip up shots. Again, it's just a beat T-Bird, which I like a lot. I've got another T-Bird that I throw. It's an Echo Star 175. This disc is sort of gotten beat into where it's I don't throw it quite as much as I would like to because the stability isn't where it was. But again, I'll throw them on a hyzer shot where I don't want a lot of skip, or I just want it to dump straight down, or I'll throw it straight. And in particular, it'll hold up to a little wind if there's some wind there. I've got other ones that are newer that I'll throw in the bag if there's more wind, but I'll always have a Star T-Bird. And so while I don't throw that all the time, what I do bag is a Champ Thunderbird. This one's a 3-time Paul Macbeth stamp. It's actually a little lighter. It's a 171 gram. And I'll throw this on controlled hyzers or straight shots, or sometimes a flex shot that I want it still to come back a little more. It's just a little faster version of the T-Bird. And so instead of a more stable T-Bird, I'll throw this one in that stead. I don't have a ton of skip with this disc. It actually stays pretty straight, so I like it a lot. In fact, if I need controlled distance, this and not a lot of skipping or movement, this is the disc I would throw, or a T-Bird. And these, I guess, are technically kind of in between a fairway driver and a high-speed driver, and they're what I call my overstable drivers. And I've got 3 Firebirds. I've got one that's beat, one that's kind of medium, and then one that I think is kind of overstable. I've got this 2015 Sexton Firebird. I've been throwing it since it's the Glow Sexton Firebirds. I've been throwing it since 2015, so it's very beat, almost a straight. I can throw it on an ante, and it'll pretty much go straight, or I can really pop it, and it'll go straight with just a little bit of hyzer. And so if there's a lot of wind, and I want to throw the T-Bird, and I'm throwing into headwind, sometimes I'll throw this beat Firebird as that shot, and it'll basically do the same thing. And moving up in stability, I've got this pre-flight number Star Firebird. This one's a little lighter. It is 169, which means that I can throw it a little further, but it also has pretty good stability right now, and it'll it'll fight the wind and hook up. And so I'll throw these on this disc a lot on forehands as well as backhands when I need a controlled either like a very aggressive line and or into a headwind. And then I've got a 2018 Sexton Firebird. That's my most overstable Firebird I have. I actually have two of these. The other one is right. The other one's right here, the exact same stamp. I recently lost this one. Jack Lowe found it for me, or turned it into to DD for me. Lost it at Cliff. So I started throwing this one as a backup. So this one's a little more newer, and so it has more stability. So if there's more wind, it's really windy above, say, 20 mile an hour, I'll throw this one in. Otherwise, I'm keeping that one in the bag. And then my high-speed drivers, I have 6. I'll always carry about 5 destroyers, and then I have 1 non-destroyer high-speed driver, and that is a Star Strike. And I have one right here that I throw. It's got my Martin City disc golf stamp on it. I don't always bag this one because it's one of the more understable discs I have, but I'll throw it on big annies. A lot of room where I can really, the disc can move in a lot of different directions, left or right. So if I've got a lot of room, I need a lot of distance, I'll grab the Strike. By far the farthest throwing disc I have in my bag. If you've not thrown a Strike, you should really try it because they'll go really far. But you need a lot of room to let them work, but they're a good disc. So, and then I've got 5 destroyers that I almost always carry, and they're all ranked in a little bit different stability. My most understable, that is very similar to the Strike, is this bottom stamp pink destroyer. I'll throw. This is probably my next farthest disc that I'll throw. In addition to the Strike, and so it's really gummy. It's not super poppy, if you can notice some of them. This one's a little flatter, and it used to be in my travel bag, so whenever I go visit an out-of-town course or go on a trip or something, I would just bring like 8 or 9 discs. I would throw this in there, and I would constantly just find that I was bombing this disc, and so I finally decided, you know what, it's moved up from the travel bag, it's going into the regular bag. The next disc that I like to throw is a different plastic. It's a Pro Destroyer. You can get a lot of grip with those. This one's got a lot of pop to it. And so this is a max weight 175 Pro Destroyer. I've been really bagging Pro Destroyers for about the last 3 years. I'll carry at least one. They got amazing grip, and you can actually get some that are very stable all the way up to understable. So that one's kind of a understable to medium stability. And then my next one is another bottom stamp Star Destroyer. It's got my little logo dyed on it, and you can see this one's really poppy. So I will always carry this disc until I lose it. It has that unique ability to where you can throw it really far, but it also has a lot of stability. And so if you want to throw into some headwind, I can throw it on an annie if I want to throw it into headwind, and it'll still fight it enough to come back and give me that distance. Or I can throw it on a flat straight line and it'll hook up at the end. And so it's a really versatile disc. What I call sort of like medium stability, or stability with a lot of glide, which is very useful. My next stability disc I have is this Martin City. Not sure if you can see the stamp very well. So maybe it's behind it. Is that better? Yeah. It's a 175 Star Destroyer, again with my Martin City disc golf stamp. I've only had this one for about 6 months, so it's still fairly new. It's not very poppy, but it's pretty stable. It has decent glide, and it's a little more controlled shot than either the pink one or this next one that I'm going to show you. But that predictable distance is sometimes what I like. And then my last destroyer that I'll bag is this 167 Paul Macbeth 4-time. Again, very poppy, lightweight, but very stable. So I'll throw these for spike hyzers, other fighting wind shots that I'll need to go into the wind. So, well, that's it. So hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and everybody's doing well. Practice those putts. Take care.